Hey, what's going on, fellow sun chasers? We are now set up at in a community called Lake Waco, just outside of Waco, Texas. This is actually one of the campgrounds owned and maintained by the Army Corps of Engineers, and it's a really nice place. It seems that all of their campgrounds are on bodies of water. This is our first time staying at one of these parks, but I'm sure I'll be staying at more if this is any indication. This is a really nice park. It's all wooded, overlooking lake. Very much nature setting, lots of trees, huge lake. So we're actually going to venture into the city today, into Waco, check out some sights, see what there is to see. For now, I'll probably just maybe take in a museum or two, scope out where to find the Magnolia Market and the Silos. We're big fans of the Fixer Upper show, so of course we got to go visit them. So we're heading out here now. We'll see what we can find.
So does all the regular flavors, cherry, orange, grape, lime, and such, as well as sarsaparilla and ginger ale. There weren't any of these new concoctions like the cola flavors back then. Speaking of flavors, I'm proud of the one I did over at the fountain. I've been given lots of credit for creating a new soda flavor. These days it's called Dr. Pepper. It must have been about 1890 or 91 when Dr. Morrison and some other investors started a new company to bottle Dr. Pepper and a few other soft drinks. They called it the Artesian Manufacturing Bottling Company because of the famous artesian wells here in Waco. Problem. I can tell you that I still check out all the new sodas that come out on the market. Anytime I get my hands on a new one, I take it to the lab and do a couple of tests to see what's in it. Actually, most of them are pretty simple.
So that was kind of cool, kind of fun walking through the Dr. Pepper property, the old equipment that would have been used for the bottling and for the producing of for the drink. Lots of old memorabilia, lots of old promotional advertisements. It's pretty cool. So we're going to walk across the street now and check out some other sites in downtown Waco. If any of you guys are fans of the show Fixer Upper like we are, then you'll probably recognize this property that we're walking by here now. So we're going to go take a look at the silos. Okay, so we're just walking by the Magnolia Market here now, but the lineup goes out the door and around the corner and down the street, so I don't think we'll be going into the market today. Okay, just leaving the Magnolia silos. Now we walked by, think we might stop in and check it out, see what was on sale and on display. As soon as we saw the lineup coming out the door, around the corner, and down the street, we thought, yeah, no, let's not do that. So we're heading back to the trailer now. Good morning, everyone. We are heading out to do a little more exploring today in Waco. Something we talked about, I think we'll go check it today, is the Texas Rangers Museum. I don't know much about the Texas Rangers. And I'm not talking about the baseball team. I'm talking about the law enforcement agency that apparently was created back when Texas became an independent republic back in the mid-1800s, and apparently the Texas Rangers still exist today and is, I guess, mostly tasked with enforcing the border with Mexico. For museums, but this is pretty interesting about the history of the Texas Rangers. Pretty cool. From the time they were created in 1835 until current day. Talks about what they did, their tools, weapons. Very interesting. Just finished our tour of the Texas Rangers Museum. It was really educational. Really cool. I learned a lot of stuff in there. I never really knew much about the Texas Rangers before, but that was really informative. Talked all about the formation of the Texas Rangers and really talks about their story right up to current day. Really informative. Hey guys, after spending the day exploring downtown Waco, we're back at the trailer now, just relaxing with an adult beverage, just taking full advantage of this lakeside campsite. Really loving it here. Be a shame when we leave day after tomorrow. Yeah, it's gorgeous here. Cheers. Good morning, everyone. We're heading into town again today to play tourist. We're going to visit the Mammoth Dig site, and it's just exactly what it sounds like. It's a archaeological dig site where fossilized remains of mammoths were found. It's not currently an active dig site. They're trying to secure more funding to continue the dig, but for now it's simply a tourist attraction where they show basically where the remains were found. You can see the remains. So it sounds kind of cool. It's not that much money for a guided tour. I think it's only maybe $5 to do the tour. So we're gonna head out, take a look at that. It's only supposed to be about 45 minutes or an hour long, so that's just about right. We can go do that and maybe even move on and check out some other things in the city. So we'll see you out there.
On that tour, we'll walk about 300 yards down to the dig shelter. Before we get there, we'll stop and I'll introduce you to everything so that you're better acclimated with how we got started and all of that. There is a lot of information, so at any point feel free to jump in and ask questions or give your own input. Kind of breaks things up. I do have, like, anybody else need a golf cart? So grab a bigger one. Okay. All right. Well, I'll lead with the golf cart. Y'all can just be aware that I will be making stops with it. Don't get too close. And then we'll like to talk to you about the Pleistocene epoch. That is most commonly referred to as the Ice Age. So that time frame covers 2.5 million years ago to about 10,000 years ago. Here in Texas, around 65,000 years ago, there weren't a whole lot of differences. Imagine most of the trees that you're seeing, those are knocked down. Replace that with 6-foot tall grass. So visually, that's what you could expect to see. Large savanna areas. The glaciers that you're used to thinking about when you reference back to the Ice Age, those would have been more along where Kansas is nowadays. So kind of draw an imaginary line. Everything north of there had glaciers and had woolly mammoths. Our mammoths grew significantly larger. They were about 4 foot taller than a woolly mammoth. And if you guys would like to see how tall that is, up this pole, about halfway up that banner, there's a piece of orange tape. Can everybody see that? All right, so that is 14 foot tall. That is the average height of our Columbian bull mammoth at his shoulder. That guy weighed about 20,000 pounds full grown as well, which means that he needed to eat about 700 pounds of that grass every single day. But they didn't start here, of course. Mammoths started in the east and traveled here. An animal that did start here, has anybody heard of the western camel? So camels actually originated in the Americas and then traveled east. So they did the opposite. While they were here, they synced up as friends. So you guys will actually get to see a camel today as well. Ice Age. So I just have to poke reference as Sid the Sloth. He is depicted very inaccurately in that movie. Really, in northern Texas, he would have been about 8 foot tall if he were standing on his back legs. Sounds really big, right? All right, well, do you remember where I showed you our mammoth?
Yeah.
Now go all the way up to the light, because down in Corpus Christi, they found the remains of a giant ground sloth that was 20 foot tall. This was not a site that was discovered by scientists. This was a site that was discovered by two 19-year-old boys back in 1978. And when they found a bone sticking out of the ravine. Of course, being 19 years old, they were a little curious, so they decided to dig that bone up and uncovered a 3.5 foot tall femur bone. Do you know what your femur is? It is. It's the top part of your leg, part that goes from your hip all the way to your knee. It's the biggest bone in your body. And of course, I did reference dairy farm, but that would be a very large cow. So they knew something was a little bit odd, took it over to Baylor where it was identified as mammoth, and they actually got permission from that landowner to come out and excavate. So what started as a potential 2-year project to uncover the rest of that one mammoth turned into, of course, something much bigger. It started out in '78 and they finished excavation in 2000. But our site is special because we are the only place out of all of these sites where an entire Columbian nursery herd has ever been found. But they found all that there was to find. You come out to find one mammoth, you find 16, you're probably nothing but smiles. So what they did at that point, after they carefully removed everything, they brought in some machinery to then fill in the giant hole that they had been digging. And at that point, they ran into more mammoths. What we're going to look at covers a 15,000 year time span. Again, this nursery herd was 65,000 years ago, but we're going to make quite a bit of a jump. Flo hung out with our mammoth herd in a symbiotic relationship. Mammoths are very large, of course, but they have terrible eyesight. So, Camel here would hung out with them because they don't have that size on their side, but they have great eyesight and could be the alarm system for the herd. So just remember, I see it, you squish it, that's how they work together. So we're actually going to skip the second event in here because there are three. We're going to jump up to what's right here in front of us. We've got Mammoth Q, which is the very large guy up front, Mammoth R, and Mammoth B. Everything at this layer is dated roughly around 50,000 years ago. And it actually has multiple things happening here, where we went from one single flooding event. We've got a lot going on here. Going past that, this squished in area sadly was formerly his skull. Unfortunately, sometime after his death, another mammoth did come through, stepped on his head. And you guys can see that not only is he closer up in time, which means closer to us, but he is not a jumble of bones like our nursery herd, which means he was not exposed for a long period of time. He, in fact, died a sudden death. Well, about once a year, they would need to find girlfriends, and if another male got in their way at that point, they would then have a battle. Because they didn't see very good, they used those very long curved tusks, swing them out, and into the biggest thing that they could find, which would end up being the rib area of another male. Just like trees have rings in their trunks to show every year of their life, and you can tell whether they had a really great time, whether they went through a drought that year. Wanda here also has rings in her tusks. Every 4 would be the equivalent of 1 year, so they are seasonal rings. But scientists can figure out whether she went through a really great period of time, or maybe she was suffering through a disease, and that was the cause of her demise. And finding some lactation rings, that would let us know that she carried young. So I know we had that question earlier, lady over there. So this mammoth would have actually carried much like elephants. Her young would have been growing for about 22 to 24 months before she gave birth to a 250-pound baby.
So we're just leaving the Mammoth Dig site. Pretty fascinating. They've discovered a number of mammoths, some almost entirely intact, and portions of others. And until such time as they get more funding, the dig is suspended, but they know there are more mammoth remains to be found under the surface, so work will continue at some point in the future. So for now, they've got it protected and preserved. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Hey guys, here's a total surprise. Totally unexpected discovery here in one of the older neighborhoods in Waco. We were driving around, just exploring, and we came across a castle of all things. So we stopped long enough to figure out what it was all about. This castle, this property, was actually purchased recently by Chip and Joanna Gaines from the Fixer Upper show. And I guess this is their next big project, but it's beautiful, it's a gorgeous old property. So that's on their to-do list, is to fix up this castle. Isn't that wild? Crazy. So we had to stop and get some photos of this thing. It's incredible. Good morning. We are leaving this lovely little park in Waco, and we're heading slowly, working our way home, heading northeast. Our next stop is in a town called Texarkana. Texarkana, actually just outside of Texarkana. Little community here where we're stopped for the night. We stayed with a Boondockers welcome host, and they were amazing hosts, Perry and Ginny, at their little place here that they call Candy Cane Corral. So the next stop will probably be, we're heading for Memphis, Tennessee, but we'll probably make one stop over en route around Hot Springs, Arkansas. There's a national park there that features these 18th, 19th century bathhouses. Sounds pretty cool. Bathhouses for the rich and famous of the day, I guess you could say, or so I understand. So that's our next stop. That's just a couple of hours away. We've got a campground in mind, not far from the bathhouse row. So we're gonna check in there and see. It's basically first come, first serve. So not really sure if there'll be a spot for us. If not, we'll just continue on our way. Hey everyone, our plans changed a little bit over the last couple of days. After we left the Waco area, our plan was actually to visit the Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas. It's pretty cool. They have these old bathhouses from the 17th and 18th centuries that are fed by these natural hot springs. Really cool concept. But the park campground was actually full. We really enjoyed the Boondockers Welcome organization. It's a great organization. They're hosts all over the country. In fact, we are hosts as well back home in St. John. So during the summer when we're home, we can provide a spot in our yard for other RVers to park when they're passing through. So we just stayed here for a couple of nights. We're moving on today. Moving on to Memphis. I have reservations there for 4 nights. Taking some of the sights of Memphis. Lots of things to see and do. So we're looking forward to that stay. And so we'll see you there. So all set up here now, just outside Memphis, Tennessee. Got a site here at a place called the Agricenter RV Park. Nothing fancy, a typical urban campground with the smaller sites, but full hookups. Got the water, power, and sewer, and Wi-Fi. So as I check out the surrounding area and see what there is to see, it's probably a good time to end this video. So we'll see you next week.